You want to make money, don't you? Fictional video game money, that is.
This is worthless.
Well, in Albion Online, one of the best ways to make money is by crafting. But one question that everyone has when they start is, what should I craft? Hi everybody, I'm that unemployed friend at 2 PM on a Wednesday, here to tell you that I have not slept in 37 hours, because I became addicted to something far stronger than fentanyl. That's right, non-linear sandbox MMORPGs. Recently, I came back to this amazing game after not playing for 3 years, and after spending the last 2 months of my life inside my bedroom leveling up my crossbows, I figured I would make a video explaining some very important stuff for people that want to get into crafting, but don't really know how to decide what item they should craft. Because with just some basic concepts, you can determine right now what is going to make you the highest profit in the shortest amount of time. So let's get right into it. Crafting is a crucial part of Albion. Every item in the game was crafted by someone at some point, so each item has its own market. The easiest items to craft are the ones that don't require artifacts. But if you have a lot of those laying around, then it can be very profitable. So you have two options, either you buy the ingredients or you gather them from the open world. This last one is the best option if you're just starting crafting, which might be the case since you're watching this video right now. So take a look at your skill tree and see what gathering professions you have leveled up. If you don't have any, pick a profession that's compatible with the city you live in. Each city has different resources, so if you live in Lyndhurst, you should gather wood. If you live in Bridgewatch, you should gather hide. Now invest some time into leveling up the profession and getting better gathering gear. This is important because the higher the level, the faster you will gather these resources. To be honest with you, if you don't have any professions leveled up, you might want to go do that before getting into crafting, because you won't have the resources or the silver to make this profitable. If you're only gathering one type of resource, you should go for armor, because it only asks you for one type of ingredient. Plate armor needs metal bars, fiber armor needs only cloth, and leather armor needs only leather. But if you're gathering more than one type of resource, you should consider crafting weapons, as many of them need wood and metal bars, metal and leather, fiber and metal. You get the idea. For this video, I will create an example so you can understand it better. Let's say I'm gathering only fiber and nothing else, and because of that, I will only focus on cloth equipment. Now, I need to decide what specific cloth item I'm going to craft, and to do so, we need to do a little market research. To do this, first go to the market, look up the item you want to investigate, click the buy button, and now click this arrow here in the top right corner. Here you can see how many units of that item are being sold, at what average price were they sold, and in which period of time they were sold. 24 hours, 7 days, or 4 weeks. I usually check the graph in 4 weeks, since I can see how many units were sold in each day by just moving the mouse around like this. Now you might be asking, what am I looking for in this graph? Let me show you an example. This is the graph for the tier 4 caves. As you can see, it gets sold a lot, every single day. So if you were to sell this item, you can be certain that it will get sold in less than a day. But if a lot of people are selling huge amounts of these items, like in this example, then the price is not going to be very high. In fact, it may be very low compared to more expensive items that are sold less frequently. And that's because of something called supply and demand. On one hand, if you pick something that is expensive but a few people buy it, it will take far too long to make a decent profit. And on the other hand, if you sell something that people buy hundreds per day, you may not make a lot of money, or you will have to mass produce that item to meet your quota. And for the sake of all players in your city, it would be best if you don't overflow the market with an item and completely screw the economy around that item in that city. Everyone loses there. You want to find that sweet spot between a good price and a good demand. Now with this knowledge, it's time for phase 2, because now you know which items are being sold the best and which ones are not. But now you have to determine which items are more cost efficient to craft. And how do we do that? Well, with a little something called math. Go to the market and search for the item that you want to craft. Write down the selling price of that item. Now divide the selling price of the item by the amount of cloth you need to craft it. The number that you obtain is how much silver you're getting for each individual resource you are investing. So for example, I'll check the tier 4 scholar sandals. Each one is worth 931 silver, and to craft them, you need 8 cloth. So doing the calculations, we will get 116 silver in return for each cloth spent. Now let's do it with the cleric sandals. Each one is worth 985 silver, and you need 8 cloth to craft it. Doing the same thing will show us that the return for each resource invested is 123 silver. Let's do it once again, but with the cleric robe. Each one is worth 1,767 silver, and you need 16 cloth to craft it. Our calculations show that we will get 110 silver for each cloth spent in crafting this item. If you keep doing this with all the items that you are able to craft, you will know what items are more profitable to craft in each category. And please remember that these prices that we're using for the items in the market will vary depending on the city and also with the passing of time. So please, do your homework and do this market research in each city. I suggest using a spreadsheet to do so. It's very useful, it has helped me a lot. But you get the point, right? If you want to profit, you gotta do your homework. Now combine the two things that I taught you in this video. Start crafting an item that sells frequently and at a decent price that is also cost effective. And again, that will be determined by what professions you have leveled up. So go ahead and do your own market research. And this is how you decide what items to craft. And if I had to summarize all this in 3 points, those would be 1. Take advantage of the professions that you have leveled up. The higher the tier of gathering, the more resources you will get per hour. 2. Do your own market research around the items that you can craft with those resources. That means checking the average selling price, average units sold per day, and profitability of each resource spent. And 3. When ready to sell, don't overflow one city market with your item. Otherwise, the huge offer that you will place will exceed the demand and lower the price. So sell your items in different cities. Also, you should consider transporting to the black market. If you want me to make a video explaining the black market and how to transport to and from Albion, tell me in the comments down below. So there you go. Now you have the tools to make the decision of what item you should craft. I hope that you find this helpful. I try not to make it too specific so that the advice given in this video remains useful for a long time. Tune in next time when I teach you how to survive the bandit assault. My name is Scrapped, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.